Hey there, my friend. Today, we're going to talk about something that every single person in this world has faced: fear. Yes, that scary feeling that stops you from doing what you really want to do. Maybe you want to speak in front of people, start a new project, talk to someone you like, or make a big decision. But something inside whispers, what if I fail? What if they laugh? What if I'm not good enough? That voice, my friend, is called fear. But here's the truth. Everyone feels fear, even the most confident people you see on TV or social media. The difference between successful people and the rest is not that they have no fear, but that they learn how to face it. They don't run away from it. They understand it, challenge it, and move through it. You see, fear is not always your enemy. Sometimes, it's your body's way of protecting you from danger. Long ago, when humans lived in caves, fear helped them survive. It made them run away from wild animals or stay alert in dangerous places. But today, most of our fears are not about lions or tigers. They're about what people might say or how we might look if we fail. These fears don't protect us. They limit us. So, what happens when fear controls your life? You stay in your comfort zone. You stop growing. You watch opportunities pass by because you're too scared to take a step forward. You start believing the lies your mind tells you, that you're not smart enough, not strong enough, not brave enough. But deep down, you already have the strength to face it. You just need to learn how. In this video, we'll talk about 5 powerful ways to overcome fear. Each one is simple but deeply effective. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to take one small step at a time. Remember, courage doesn't mean you don't feel fear. Courage means you feel the fear, but you still move forward anyway. Before we start, I want you to imagine this. Think about one thing that fear has stopped you from doing. Maybe it's talking in English in front of others, starting a YouTube channel, changing your job, or following your dream. Keep that in your mind, because as we go through these steps, you're going to learn how to break that wall of fear, piece by piece. And here's something beautiful. Once you face one fear, every other fear starts getting smaller. It's like unlocking a new level of confidence every time you win against it. You begin to realize that the monster you were so scared of was never that big. It was just your imagination making it look stronger than it really was. So, if you've ever felt afraid of failure, rejection, judgment, or the unknown, you're not alone. I've been there. Everyone has. But today, you're going to learn how to take your power back. You're going to learn how to make fear your teacher, not your master. Take a deep breath. Smile. You're stronger than you think. Subscribe me, like the video, and let's begin this journey together. Tip 1. Face your fear. Don't run from it. The first and most important way to overcome fear is simple to say, but hard to do. Face your fear instead of running from it. When something scares us, our natural reaction is to avoid it. We think, if I don't face it, maybe it will go away. But here's the truth, it doesn't. The more you run from fear, the stronger it becomes. It grows inside your mind, waiting for the next time to stop you again. Let's take an example. Imagine you're afraid of speaking English in front of people, so you avoid it. You stay quiet in class. You don't talk to others in English because you don't want to make mistakes. But what happens? The fear doesn't leave you. In fact, it gets bigger. Every time you avoid speaking, you tell your brain, yes, this is scary. I can't do it. And slowly, your brain believes it. Now imagine doing the opposite. You decide to face it, just a little. You say a few words in English, maybe to a friend or to your mirror. Your voice shakes, your heart beats fast, but you do it anyway. What happens next? You realize something powerful. You didn't die, and nothing bad happened. People didn't laugh. The world didn't end. And suddenly, your fear loses some of its power. That's how you start to win. Not by running away, but by taking small, brave steps toward your fear. Here's a truth that can change your life. Fear gets weaker when you face it, and stronger when you avoid it. It's like standing in front of a shadow at night. From far away, it looks big and scary. But when you walk closer, you realize it's just a small object creating that big shadow. That's exactly what fear is, a shadow made by your thoughts. Facing your fear doesn't mean you have to do something huge right away. Start small. If you're afraid of speaking up, speak to one person. If you're afraid of trying something new, take one tiny step toward it. Each small step is a victory. Each time you face fear, your confidence grows a little more. You can even talk to your fear. Yes, talk to it like a friend. Say something like, "Hey fear, I know you're here. I know you're trying to protect me, but I've got this. I'm going to try anyway." When you speak to your fear, you take control. You stop letting it control you. And here's something interesting. Many people you admire, people who look fearless, actually feel fear all the time. Actors, leaders, athletes, they all have fears. But they've learned the secret. The only way out is through. You must walk through your fear to get to the other side. So, the next time you feel afraid, remember this. Don't run. Don't hide. Take one step closer. Even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble, face it. Because every time you do, you become a stronger version of yourself. Fear is not your enemy. It's just a signal that you're about to grow. It's your body's way of saying, something amazing is waiting on the other side. So don't let fear hold the pen that writes your story. You are the author, and it's time to write something brave. Tip 2. Change the way you think about fear. Most people see fear as a bad thing. They think it means weakness or failure. But that's not true at all. Fear is not your enemy. It's your signal. It's your body and mind saying, "Hey, something important is about to happen. Be ready." Think about it. Fear only shows up when something matters to you. You don't feel afraid about things you don't care about, right? You feel fear when something has value, when you want to do your best, or when the result could change your life. That means fear is actually proof that you're growing and moving towards something meaningful. The problem is not fear itself. It's how we think about fear. When we see fear as danger, we try to escape. But if we start to see fear as a teacher, everything changes. Fear can teach you courage. It can teach you patience. It can show you what truly matters to you. Let's imagine two people standing in front of a stage. Both are afraid of public speaking. The first person thinks, "This fear means I'm not good enough. I should run away." So they leave. The second person thinks, "This fear means I'm about to do something brave. My heart is racing because this is important." So they step on the stage, even though they're scared. Which one grows? Of course, the second one. The fear is the same, but the meaning they give it is completely different. Here's something powerful to remember. You can't always control your feelings, but you can control your thoughts about them. When fear comes, don't say, "This is bad." Say, "This is my chance to grow." Change the story in your head, and your fear starts losing control over you. When you start to see fear as energy, not as a wall, you can use it to move forward. For example, if you're afraid before a big test, use that energy to study harder. If you're afraid before an interview, use that fear to prepare better. Fear gives you focus and alertness. It helps you perform when you channel it in the right direction. Here's a small exercise you can try. Next time you feel fear, stop for a second. Take a deep breath. Instead of running from it, say to yourself, "I'm excited, not scared." It might sound strange, but your brain reacts to fear and excitement in a very similar way. Your heartbeat rises, your palms sweat, your body gets ready for action. So, when you tell yourself you're excited, not scared, you start turning that fear into positive energy. Also, remember that fear is often based on imagination, not reality. Your mind creates stories about what might go wrong, but most of those things never actually happen. How many times have you been afraid of something and later realized it wasn't as bad as you imagined? That's the trick your brain plays on you. So next time your mind says, "What if I fail?" answer it with, "What if I succeed?" Replace fear with curiosity. Replace doubt with hope. Replace "what if I can't" with "what if I can." When you start changing how you think about fear, you also change your relationship with yourself. You stop seeing fear as a monster and start seeing it as a message. It's not here to stop you. It's here to push you toward growth. So instead of saying, "I'm scared," say, "I'm learning." Instead of saying, "I can't do this," say, "I'm becoming stronger." Fear is not the end. It's the beginning of something new. Tip 3. Take action, even when you're afraid. Let's be honest. No matter how much we talk about fear, it doesn't just disappear. You can read every book, listen to every motivational speech, and still feel afraid when it's time to act. That's totally normal. Fear is part of being human. The real magic happens not when fear goes away, but when you act despite feeling afraid. Action is the secret weapon against fear. When you move, fear loses power. When you stay still, fear grows stronger. Think about it. The longer you wait, the more your mind starts to imagine scary things that might happen. You create hundreds of what-if scenarios in your head. What if I fail? What if people judge me? What if I'm not ready? And soon, those thoughts build a wall that feels impossible to climb. But here's something important. Fear hates movement. When you take even the smallest step forward, fear starts to shrink. Because action gives your brain new information. It shows you that things are not as scary as you imagined. Let's say you want to make a YouTube video in English, but you're scared. You think your accent isn't perfect, or maybe your grammar isn't strong. So, you keep waiting for the perfect time. But guess what? There is no perfect time. The longer you wait, the bigger your fear becomes. Now imagine you just hit record, speak for 2 minutes, and post it. You might feel nervous, but after that first step, you realize nothing terrible happened. You survived. And suddenly, your confidence grows. That's the power of action. Every big success starts with one small, shaky step. When you take action, you prove to yourself that you are stronger than your fears. It's not about being ready. It's about being brave enough to start. Here's a little trick that works for many people. The 5-second rule. When you feel afraid or hesitate, count backward. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and move. Don't give your brain time to talk you out of it. Just act. Make the call, send the message, speak up, walk on stage, start the video. Once you move, your body takes over and your mind starts catching up. That's how momentum is built. Another thing to remember, you don't need to see the whole road to take the first step. Fear often tells you, you need to know exactly how everything will go. But that's impossible. No one knows the full journey. All you need to know is your next step. Take it, and the next step will appear after that. It's like walking at night with a flashlight. You can't see the whole path, but you can see enough to take the next few steps. And that's all you need to reach your destination. So, if you're waiting for fear to disappear before you act, you'll wait forever. The truth is, courage comes after you act, not before. The more you do something, the less scary it becomes. Think about when you first learned to ride a bike. You were scared, right? But after practicing again and again, it became easy. Fear left because action took its place. Remember this. Fear is loud before you begin, silent after you start. So, take that step, even if your voice shakes, even if your hands tremble. Start now, start small, but just start. Because action is what transforms fear into strength. You don't need to feel brave to begin. Beginning is what makes you brave. Tip 4. Use your mind and body to calm fear. Fear doesn't just live in your thoughts, it also lives in your body. When you feel afraid, your body reacts instantly. Your heart beats faster, your hands get sweaty, your stomach feels tight, and your breathing becomes shallow. These reactions are part of something called the fight or flight response, your body's natural way of protecting you from danger. This was useful thousands of years ago when humans needed to run from wild animals. But now, most of our fears are not physical. They're emotional, like fear of failure, rejection, or embarrassment. Still, your body reacts the same way. That's why learning to control your body and calm your mind is one of the best ways to overcome fear. Let's start with the simplest but most powerful tool, your breath. When fear takes over, your breathing becomes fast and short. That sends a message to your brain that something is wrong, which makes you even more afraid. But when you slow down your breathing, you send the opposite message. You tell your brain, I'm safe. I'm in control. Try this. Take a deep breath in for 4 seconds, hold it for 4 seconds, and breathe out slowly for 6 seconds. Do it a few times. You'll notice your heart rate slowing down and your mind feeling clearer. This small practice can help you regain control whenever fear appears. Another powerful trick is to relax your body. When you're afraid, your muscles tighten, especially in your shoulders, neck, and face. You can change how you feel by changing how you move. Stand tall, relax your shoulders, lift your head, and smile, even if you don't feel like it. Your body sends signals to your brain, and when your body looks calm, your brain starts to feel calm too. You can also use visualization. Close your eyes and imagine a place where you feel completely safe, maybe a beach, a mountain, or your favorite room. Picture the colors, sounds, and feelings of that place. When your brain focuses on something peaceful, it starts to calm down your body automatically. You can practice this for a few minutes whenever you feel anxious or afraid. But controlling your body is only half of it. The other half is managing your mind. Most fears start with thoughts. I can't do this. Something bad will happen. People will judge me. These thoughts create emotions, and those emotions create physical reactions. To calm fear, you need to talk back to your thoughts. When fear says, you can't do it, answer with, let's try and see what happens. When fear says, what if I fail? Say, what if I learn something amazing? You don't have to believe every thought that comes into your mind. You can choose which ones to keep and which ones to let go. Here's something else to remember. Your mind and body are connected. When you calm one, you calm the other. That's why practices like yoga, meditation, and deep breathing are so powerful. They teach you how to relax your body and focus your mind at the same time. You don't have to be an expert. Even 5 minutes a day of calm breathing or gentle stretching can make a big difference in how you handle fear. So next time fear visits you, don't panic. Take a deep breath. Relax your body. Talk kindly to yourself. Remind yourself that fear is just energy moving through your body. It can't control you unless you let it. You are stronger, wiser, and calmer than your fear wants you to believe. You can't always stop fear from showing up, but you can always decide how to respond. And that, my friend, is real power. Tip 5. Learn from failure and keep going. One of the biggest reasons people stay afraid is because they fear failure. They think, if I fail, everyone will laugh at me. Or, if I fail, it means I'm not good enough. But here's the truth. Failure is not the end. It's part of the process. In fact, failure is one of the best teachers you'll ever have in life. Think about a baby learning to walk. They fall again and again, hundreds of times. But they never stop trying. Why? Because they don't see falling as failure. They see it as part of learning. If that baby stopped after the first fall, they would never learn to walk. The same is true for you and your fears. Every time you try something and fail, you're not going backward, you're growing. You're learning what doesn't work, and that's exactly how you find what does work. Every successful person you admire, actors, leaders, athletes, business people, they've all failed many times. But they didn't give up. They used their failures as lessons. Let's take an example. Imagine you're afraid to speak English because you might make mistakes. Then one day, you finally do it. And yes, you make a few mistakes. Maybe someone corrects you, or maybe you forget a word. But you survive. You realize that it's not the end of the world. And next time, you speak a little better. That's growth. That's how confidence is built, by doing, failing, and doing again. Here's something important to remember. Fear of failure is worse than failure itself. When you fail, you learn and move forward. But when you never try, you stay stuck. You live with regret, and that's much heavier than failure. So instead of asking, what if I fail? Start asking, what will I learn if I try? Change your focus from perfection to progress. You don't need to be perfect to start. You just need to start to become better. Sometimes, failure is just redirection. It's life showing you a different way, a better path. Many successful people didn't get what they wanted at first, but because they kept going, they found something even greater. Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb, failed more than 1,000 times before he succeeded. When someone asked him how it felt to fail so many times, he said, I didn't fail. I just found 1,000 ways that didn't work. That's the mindset of a winner. So, how do you handle failure when it happens? First, don't hide from it. Face it. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What can I do better next time? Second, be kind to yourself. Everyone fails. It doesn't make you weak or stupid. It makes you human. Talk to yourself like you would talk to a friend who made a mistake. Encourage yourself instead of criticizing. And third, try again. Because every time you try, your fear gets smaller and your strength grows. Failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every step you take, even the wrong ones, brings you closer to where you want to be. The only real failure is giving up completely. So the next time you fall, smile a little. You're not failing. You're learning, growing, and becoming unstoppable. Remember, courage is not about never falling. It's about standing up every single time you do. Keep going, my friend. Your fear can't win if you never stop trying. You've made it to the end, my friend, and that means something special. It means you're not running from fear anymore. You're learning to face it, understand it, and take control of it. That alone is a brave step forward. We've talked about a lot in this journey. You learned that fear is not your enemy. It's a signal that you're growing. You discovered that facing your fear, changing your thoughts, taking action, calming your body, and learning from failure are the keys to becoming stronger. But now, I want you to remember one powerful truth. Fear will always exist, and that's okay. Even the most confident people feel it. The difference is that they don't let it stop them. They've learned how to walk with fear instead of running from it. Think about it this way. Fear is like a small child sitting in the back seat of your car. You can't throw it out, and you don't have to. Just don't let it drive. Let it sit quietly while you keep your hands on the wheel. You're the one in control. Life begins where fear ends. Every dream you want, confidence, love, success, freedom, all of it is waiting just beyond that wall of fear. And the only way to reach it is to take one step through it. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, your heart will race. But each step you take will make the next one easier. You don't have to be fearless to live a great life. You just have to be brave enough to move forward while you're scared. Bravery isn't loud. It's not shouting or showing off. It's quiet. It's that small voice inside that says, I'm scared, but I'll do it anyway. So, the next time you feel fear, don't hide. Smile at it. Say, thank you for showing up, fear. You're reminding me that I'm growing. But I'm the one who decides what happens next. Then, take a deep breath, stand tall, and move forward. Because your dreams deserve to see the light, and fear has no right to keep them in the dark. You are stronger than you think. You have more power inside you than you realize. Every person who has ever achieved something great has felt fear, and they succeeded because they kept going. And now it's your turn. Start small. Speak that sentence in English. Record that video. Apply for that job. Talk to that person. Take that chance. Don't wait for the perfect time, because it doesn't exist. The best time is now. And remember, courage grows every time you use it. The more you act, the more confident you become. And soon, you'll look back and realize that the things you once feared don't scare you anymore. You did it. You grew. You won. If this message touched your heart or helped you in any way, I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts in the comments. Tell me what fear you're ready to face. Give this video a like if it inspired you. And subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more motivational stories and English learning lessons like this one. Remember, fear is temporary, but regret lasts forever. Be brave. Take that step. You've got this.